first time I will give them a chance, and therefore I will explain to you what we do while they will start straight at work. So we do two kind of things where both things mean the same thing, though it doesn't look it. We have an individual in treatment. Normally we do start with an individual treatment for people who need it. Those who do have no special complaint and can at least sit on the floor by themselves without trouble, they needn't have any individual treatment at all. But the individual treatment can be also done with very perfect people who want a greater perfection. For instance, like even Yudi Menuhin or Yepes, I don't know, one of the world's best guitarists, and other people have had 2 months or a month to work with me in order to improve that superior human skill that they have. And so many other walks of life. So, but that's a peculiar thing which we call functional integration. And the other one is what we do here, which is awareness through movement, which actually, historically, is second. It was used in order to make available to great masses the benefit which you can get from that individual treatment. Therefore, it's a very curious way of doing, where you are not instructed to do like that, and you're not given an example, it should be done like that. And that is very difficult at the beginning. The first few lessons you will see, those who have never been confronted with it, you will find it very, very difficult to do, because they are left to themselves to both listen, perform, do what is explained to them, and judge by themselves whether they do it right or wrong. Now, the thing of right and wrong is only in their mind, because we are not interested if they do it right by my standards. Because my teaching doesn't want to make you do what I can do, but it is intended to make you do what you do better after your own judgment. Therefore, we will try to improve your judgment, improve your doing, and so that you yourself keep on improving the way you are better, and discover in yourself perhaps things that you don't know at all, and therefore be able to give a better account of yourself to yourself. This, of course, when you improve in your own eyes, has a great advantage. Your self-confidence grows, yet your ability to judge and compare yourself afterwards with others if you like. But you should be making advances relative to something that you feel necessary and not I. Therefore, it's the concentrating to have to do something and see nobody showing you, you do like I do, that's very good. You see? Therefore, you will find that very difficult to begin with. But normally, the difficulty is passed within the first half hour. Because, you see, you will feel that you know what to do. Because we are not interested in the what. The what is very simple, but how. how we do things. The difference is not so obvious because we usually mix what and how, and we may not make a very big difference between the two. But I tell you, it's not important what you paint. You can paint flowers, you can paint the sea, you can paint a forest, you can paint trees, you can paint a chair, you can paint a figure, you can paint a face, you can paint imaginary things, you can paint abstract. Therefore, nobody has ever been judged whether he's a good painter after what he paints. It's only how he paints. Same thing in an author writing. You don't judge somebody where he writes a story about England or about America or about a woman or about a dog or about somebody fishing a shark in the sea. It's how you write it that is important, but not what. Same thing here. We are not interested in what you do, what we will do. The what is used only to improve your judgment, your sensitivity, your ability to perform what you want. And we have a lot of simple sayings which sound crazy, and that is, if you don't know what you're doing, I mean, you may be able to do something, but you don't know how you do it, then you can't do what you want to do. You're limited in what you want to do. The more you know how you do, the more things you can do as you like. Now, I started this talking only because I wanted to allow some people to come in, but I see nobody comes in, so we can start straight to work. By the way, while we work, I will also give you a little bit of theory insight so that you can also understand what we are doing and improve. Actually, I usually talk more than I work. And in this case, we want you to do what I do normally with groups like that, to work first and get the information, the talking part. After you have experienced something and you know what happens, then you can judge yourself whether what I say is valid, interesting or not. Now, would you please lie on your back? And we will do a funny thing. Imitate what happens with babies when they are born. When they are born, they can't do a thing but flex all the muscles and only the flexors. They can't stand on their knee, they don't crawl. They can. Now, therefore, there must be a great difference between flexor muscles and extensor muscles. In fact, there is an enormous difference between them. If you like chicken, you can see some people like the white meat and some like red meat. And they ask them, well, how come the chicken know to produce red meat and white meat? So that people can choose. No, they are made, but the red meat are the extensor muscles. The extensor muscles are always red, and the flexors in the wings are white. And therefore, under the wings they have white meat, and on the legs where they push the floor with the legs, the extensor muscles, like our quadriceps or quadriceps, and the back muscles and the neck muscles which are extensors. Those who don't know, probably the majority knows, but if there is even one who doesn't know what a flexor and extensor, it's beside the whiteness and the redness, it is this. A flexor is a muscle that closes the articulation. Closes the articulation. Extensors is a muscle that opens the articulation. It means on the arm it would be the biceps is a flexor, the triceps is an extensor. On the leg, for instance, on the thigh, the quadriceps is an extensor, the hamstring is a flexor. Now, they are not only one more red than the other, but the way of acting is very different. An extensor is also an anti-gravity muscle, the muscle which hold the body upright. And therefore, they can be contracted for hours, nay, days on end without fatigue. The flexors move much more rapidly, contract more readily and faster, but they cannot last any length of time. They can do very quick movement like we do with the legs over the eyes or something like that, over the hands, like very fast, small movements, but not maintaining them for a long time. For instance, you could see that nobody would fall standing on the end of or the corner of a building of 20 floors, standing on if he has good balance, he's not afraid, he will never fall down because of the extensors giving in and therefore falling. It will be only a psychological breakdown. But anybody hanging on his fingers, even on the most convenient kind of thing, cannot last more than a few minutes before he will fall. And therefore, they always show it in things where they want to excite people, somebody hanging on a rock or somewhere or on a window sill with their hands like that, and everybody knows that he won't last. He won't last because his flexors will never allow him to stay there more than a minute, 2, 3 minutes, and then he's finished. So now we are going to find out how our flexors work, and we'll work only with the flexors for the first lesson. And you will see by the end of that, when you get up, you will see something funny happening to the extensors. Now, would you please spread your feet shoulder wide, not more, just shoulder wide. That's right. And now, lift your head off the floor. Many times, slowly. Don't hurry. It's not a question of who will do more or faster or better. Just lift your hand many times. Observe only up to what position the head is brought forward by yourself, and after a few moments, bring it to the point where you can get easily and stay there. No, lift it and stay there. Means lift the head and remain like that. And observe how awkward that is, because there are flexor muscles who lift the head. They can hold you a few seconds and then you say, oh, let him do it himself. Now, but this is exactly what we want to learn and see that we can improve everything we do. Now, try again the same thing But at this time, put your hands on your chest, and on lifting the head, push the ribs and the chest downwards towards the legs and the floor. Not too hard and not too fast. Just do that and see whether while doing that the head lifts easier. Whether you can feel that the head lifts easier, lifts a little higher. Now lift it like that, pressing the chest down, and see whether you can hold it easier like that. You're holding also the breath. That of course is not necessary. Make sure whether you keep on feeling the air coming out of the nostrils and coming in. That's right. Now put the head down. You can see it's much easier. Why is it easier? Because it's you see all the muscles of the chest have one end on the chest and the other end on the cervical spine or the head itself. For instance, this muscle is a sternocleidomastoidean. Other muscles may be on the shoulder and the head. Other muscles on the clavicle and the head. See, they are all connected, and therefore, normally a muscle can only contract, doesn't care what to do. A muscle gets an impulse to contract. Which part will be lifted depends on what you want to do. If you want, then the chest normally, if you want to lift the head, the chest must not move, must be solid. Then the full contraction will be shown on the movement of the head. But for instance, you could make the small of the back go away from the ground. That's right, lift it. And that will mean making the chest the exact opposite of what before. Now the muscles will lift the head very poorly. No, don't put it. Don't touch the chest remaining like that. You see, very difficult to lift the head. It will lift much less. If you lift and the small of the back goes down, that means the chest is heavy, and therefore with the weight, the chest goes down, therefore the head makes the full movement. You can also move even less. Make together. Lift the head and at the same time lift the chest, but so in the direction of the head. Then the head moves even less, because part of the movement of the muscle is done by the chest. All right, now forget it. It's obvious. Now leave it like that. Then you can see that the head lifts easily with those people who are aware that the chest must be pressed to the floor. It means the stomach muscle must be contracted so that the small of the back or the lumbar region is pressed to the floor. Means the chest. That's right. If you do that, if you try actually to tilt the pelvis so that the small of the back is pressed to the floor, try. Tilt the pelvis and lift the head, you will see it lifts even easier and higher. It's equivalent to pressing the chest with the head. Now, we have a funny sort of nervous system, and that's the important thing. Once we are aware of what we do, we have a say on how, and how is better. For instance, now that you know it, if I tell you lift the head, you will find that it's easier to lift the head than before, and that it lifts a little bit higher than before. You didn't try to lift even higher still, because I'll give you more help so that it becomes easier and easier. Now you can see that if you have to do at the same time tilt your pelvis and do that, it of course becomes a complicated thing. Then bend your knees, but they remain spread as they are. Bend your knees and the feet on the floor. That's right. And now stretch them out again and lift the head while you bend your knees. Look how easy that is. Because that does the work you wanted to do with the pelvis and the ribs and all that. So simple. You see, would you please spread your legs shoulder wide? That's what we said from the beginning. Spread the shoulder wide. Now rest a little on the back, not because you are so tired, but I want you to begin to learn something which we think very important. And that is that if you pay attention, you will see that every few movements change the tonus. It means the latent contraction of the muscles. They are contracted either more or less. If you pay attention now to the way your back and shoulder blades lie, or the small of the back, you will see it's a little different from the moment you lied first. Now, as you saw that the question is make the lifting of the head easy, you have to press the lumbar vertebrae to the floor, or you can do it by lifting a bit the legs. You can do it by contracting the muscles of the stomach. Whatever you do, but if you interlace your fingers and put it behind the head, and now lift the legs, bend the legs and bend them while you lift the head. Oh, that becomes much easier. Why? Because lifting the arms would think should lift the head less, because you lift also the arms with the same muscles. Yet, the organization of the chest is such that when you lift the legs, the pectoral muscles can go down, and therefore the chest lifts easier, and therefore the head lifts miles easier. Now, and again, our nervous system is so constructed that once you have found the way of lifting the head easy, with the help of this trick, that trick, other one, you can do the same thing without the tricks. Now, put your hands on either side of the body, and now just think of lifting the head. Can you remember how high it was and what it felt like when you did it with the hands and the legs? Try and see whether you can't lift it as high as easily. Can you see? It's higher than in the beginning and easier. Therefore, we have learned something. It's not that our muscles became stronger, but something organized itself. Can anybody guess what it was? I'll tell you. You see, we do the flexors separately from the vertexes to show that if we don't know what we are doing, we can't do what we want. We can lift our hand more or less, but it's difficult. Because, you see, the muscles of the back remain contracted from the standing, which is not correct, the posture which is not right. And therefore, as the flexors and extensors are always antagonistic. See, if I bend my arm, that muscle must let go. The flexor works, the extensor must let go. Otherwise, I can't flex my arm. If I strain both of them, then the arm becomes fixed. To straighten it, the flexor must let go so that the extensor can open the articulation. To close the arm, it's the other way around. Then the antagonistic muscles work together, help each other to do what you ask them to do. We are not bothered with the muscles, but with the idea of what we want to do externally, that's clear. But there's somebody in the machine that must tell the muscles what to do to perform what we want. And you can see some people do things easily, some with errors, with difficulties. Then obviously there's a difference of organization of the nervous system and the muscular system. It can be bettered and can become worse. Now, we are trying to see how we can understand how it works so that we can get the best out of it. And you can see that you can do that. Now, you get each time a little bit higher, not by becoming stronger in a few minutes, but doing that while you work with the flexors only, the extensors of the back must yield, therefore become long, and interfere less with the lifting of the head. Make it easier to go down with the middle of the back. Therefore, if you pay attention, if you lie simply, you will see that after these few movements, you can find that the body lies even flatter. Now, the small of the back is a little bit lower, but it can go down a lot more. Therefore, it can be much easier still. Now, let's see how we can do that. Would you please bend your knees? Put both hands interlaced behind the head. Lift the head and direct the knee, the right knee and the right elbow, one towards the other. But don't bother about working hard or touching. It doesn't matter whether it touches or not. With some it will touch easily, with some not. You lift the right leg and the elbow. That's right. In the direction of one. Don't hurry, don't hurry, don't hurry. You won't gain anything of that. It's not important. Now, many of you touch the thing, but you do it with such an effort that, it makes me sore in the eyes. But I think you can do much better, all of you, much better with less effort, provided you know how. And that's actually what you're going to learn to do here. Therefore, you want to see how badly you do it, then try, do it, touch with just the point of the elbow, just the patella, the point of the knee, and stay like that. And you'll see how long you can do it. No, you're not holding, it's not. The point of the knee with the point, with the end of the, that's right. That's right. You see how difficult it is? Young people never give up. Now, because it's not done well. The back muscles still interfere. We'll do that, see how we can improve that. Therefore, don't force. It's really futile. My whole teaching is that the effort that we do is only a proof that the person inwardly knows that he can't do it. Well, otherwise, why press? Why show me that I can touch? Do it comfortably, and leave the rest to me. If at the end of the lesson you can't touch, that this will seem ridiculous to you, that you can do at least twice as much better, then you will say, oh, no, I'm not coming next time. So please do easily. Don't try to touch. Don't do what is really comfortable to do. You should go out of here knowing to do the thing better, folding more, many more times faster, and that, but finally feeling that you do it because you have learned something to do, and not because you have exercised your will, that you will do it in spite of the thing being difficult, disagreeable to do. If you do it in a disagreeable way, you will never use it anyway. So try again. Direct your right elbow towards the right knee many times, slowly. Slowly. It doesn't matter whether it touches or not. Only the two more. But while you do that, observe that your face turns a little bit to the left. Observe also which side flattens out on the floor more than the other. One side flattens out on the floor more than the other. You're still too fast. Maybe because you're older than neighbors. That's why you must show them that you still can do it. No? No? Give it up. You will do it, and you don't have to prove anybody anything. So slowly. Can you feel that when you do that, there is a shift? One side of the body is pressed against the floor, clearer, neater, more distinctly against the floor than the other. Try again. And you please touch with the tip of the elbow, the tip of the leg, and not the middle of the thigh. That's better. You know why you don't do it? It's more difficult to do. Slowly. That's right. Now, keep on doing the same thing, only direct the left elbow to the right knee. The left elbow to the right knee. Slowly. Now observe that the head turns the other way, isn't it? And what touches the floor now? It's not the same part as before. Can you see? That's right. Slowly. Now do it once with the right, once with the left. Now observe, what's the rate of doing it once with the right, once with the left? How fast should you change? How fast do you change? How fast? Who gives you the rhythm to do it? You will see it has to do something with the breathing. Look, when you lie down like that, you breathe in. And when you bend, you should breathe out, otherwise the thing can't fold. If you think of breathing out, you will find that it goes. Do it once with the right, once with the left. Now observe, what's the rate of doing it once with the right, once with the left? How fast should you change? How fast do you change? How fast? Who gives you the rhythm to do it? You will see it has to do something with the breathing. Look, when you lie down like that, you breathe in. And when you bend, you should breathe out, otherwise the thing can't fold. If you think of breathing out, you will find that it goes a little bit more than before without having to do anything. Because a Dunlop pillow blown with air, if you want to fold it, you'll find it a bit difficult. If you let the valve open and the air can go out, you can fold it. Now, it's not so effective as with a Dunlop pillow, but even here, if you make your chest stiff and hold the air, you'll find it much more difficult to touch. Now, see whether you can make sure that you breathe out when you bend to touch with the one elbow or the other, that you actually let air out. Listen to your nostrils. You're doing it to the left leg? No, the right leg. This one is the right one, the other one is certainly not the right one. Right leg, right elbow, and left elbow. By the right leg. Don't fuss. You again, slowly. Don't look. Hey. You know why you work so fast? Because you can't touch with the left side, the right knee. Don't bother. Leave that to me. You will touch. Take it and do slow. It's too fast. It's too fast. You'll be dead tired. You'll do it perhaps 2,000 times, that bending. You won't be able to go to the end. Look, I have a very great struggle every time, everywhere in the world, with the people who want to do more than they can. And I can see that some people begin immediately to work hard. I know that they can't do the things actually well. Otherwise, there's no hurry. And there's no point in doing the touching or not. You will find that you will touch much better when you stop wanting to touch and do only what I teach you to feel and understand. You'll get there to touch everybody easily, without trouble. Now, lie still for a moment, stretch out, and just see. I did it intentionally, not use the left leg, and so that you can learn to feel that on the left side and the right side there is a marked difference with the back of the knees and the hip joints and then the small of the back. It's quite different for the left and the right. You can feel that the left leg didn't do any work and that there's something in the back which has not changed on the left side. There's something on the right side that has changed. Now, I would like you we'll do another few things on the right side and the left side like that differently, so that you can appreciate that this sort of thing makes an effect, has an effect, not only on the muscles that we use, but even elsewhere. I don't want to say so that you say, oh, he told us, therefore I felt. You will have to find it for yourself. I will only make it so clear that you can find it. Now, would you please bend both knees and this time interlace your fingers and take your right knee with that. That's right. And now very slowly lift your head and move the knee towards your face somewhere. Slowly. Again, don't care where it goes, where it doesn't. Many times, slowly. Slowly. And let go, and don't hurry. Don't rush. Now, only try to reach the knee with your chin. A few times with the chin. Observe that when you think of the chin touching, you do something else than before. Do again like before. So before you didn't intend to touch with the chin. You intended to touch with what? Huh? Come on. I say as soon as you are clear with what you want to touch, you can do better. Now, think of touching with the mouth. Right? Several times, only half a dozen times there, because it's only of feeling the difference. Don't force. Don't force, don't hurry, don't do it nicely, then you will do it well. Now, and don't strain your arms, it's not necessary. Now, observe only what happens on the floor when you do that. Now, listen to what happened on the floor when you try to touch with the chin. Try to touch with the chin twice, one, and again. And now try twice with the forehead and see whether you can feel what is different and where on the floor when you do with the forehead, and the chin. The chin. Feel how different the chest, the pelvis, everything is different, whether you move your chin forward, you're not moving the chin forward. That's better. Yeah. Now, move your chin forward. Let me see. That's not clearly chin forward. No. Very few of you make the difference between chin and that. You just lift the head and then force the knee to the chin. But look, to move the chin forward, I told you I don't want you to do like I do, but you see, you don't understand the difference at all. You never did it. A chin forward is this, and not there and touch the chin. The chin forward is that. Forehead forward is this. Now you make no distinction. Many of you do the same thing, only push the knee there and push the knee there. That's not the chin forward. Chin forward is that. I mean, he did it, many did it, but others you can see no difference. Therefore, when I tell you, feel the difference on the floor, they don't. Therefore, they learn nothing. Therefore, you cannot keep on doing it. 5 months, it won't get better. Try slowly. Move your chin forward. Doesn't matter. Forget the knee. Move the chin forward. Leave the knee alone. Put it on the floor. Now, move your chin up. That's right. The chin up. It means the head remains on the floor and the chin is lifted first. That's right. No, the chin is not lifted first with your chin. Now, That's better. Look, don't lift the head at all. Begin to move the chin. That's right. That's what you have to do. No, don't lift. Only tilt the head so that you can think of the chin going first. Now, when the chin is tilted like that to the ceiling, lift the head. Then you will see the difference. No, your head. All right. Now, we have also a way of correcting incorrect things. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Look at these three people, or the guy. All of you, look at those three people. Lie on the floor, tilt the head so that the chin is forward. Now lift the head like that with the chin forward. Now watch, the chin is higher than the forehead. Huh? All right? Now you lie down and do it again. Like you did before, don't correct. Look, can you see the forehead is higher than the chin? So you're not doing it. Now, you look at, have you seen what I know? Try again. That's lovely. You see, you find that the human brain, if he can't do, is he doesn't know what he was doing. He can't see a difference. Therefore, doesn't matter how many university degrees you have, what expert you are, if you can't feel the difference, you can't do what you want. Nothing doing. Therefore, you must become aware of what you're doing with precision, then you can do what you want with precision. All right then. Have you seen the difference? Look, now she can do what she did before in two different ways. Before, two different things were responded to the same instruction she did, two different things she did the same way, not knowing any difference between the two. She got it in 1 second. Every one of you can do the same thing. You, for instance, you didn't get it. I could see before there. You try. Lie. Not you. You too. Go ahead. There are several I saw that lifted now. That's right. That's good. Still, that's better. But do it like you did before. Can you see that Can you see that both did not do it? Now, can you see also that people are so insensitive to these things that I can hear sitting, looking at so many people, can tell you that she didn't, and there didn't, and that one didn't. Because to me it is like if you said, this one said instead, it's an obvious difference. Therefore I can see it. It feels like if everybody was dressed in red and somebody in white. I don't have to be very clever to see that difference. Now, when you get used to human action, you can see differences in action which they themselves don't know. And you will see that if you know the difference, you can do better. Try again. So now everybody probably can now tilt the head so that the chin goes forward. That's right. And now tilt the head so that the forehead comes forward. That's right. Now you try that the forehead comes forward. And now get hold of your knee like before. And now when you lift the chin twice, chin towards that, and feel what happens in the back and how it does and how much strain there is on the leg and the difference between the back on the right and the left. And then breathe out and don't work hard. And it doesn't matter if you don't touch. If you don't touch, it's my fault, not yours. Bend the knees, we said both knees, not the other knees are light, That's right. The other knee also. And now, why did you put suddenly the look? Why did you put the other knee long? Slowly. And now direct the nose towards the knee. And now while you are there, the nose against the chin, don't do it, it doesn't matter. But from this position, stay a few seconds and think of kissing your knee. Kiss the knee. That is moving the chin a little bit more. Now touch with the chin, and then touch with the nose, and touch with the forehead. Now, and stop it. Stop it. That's right. And now, interlace your fingers, put it behind the head, and try like before. Bend your knees, and now move the right knee towards the right elbow towards the right knee, and only see whether it's easier to do than before. Do it with the right knee towards the left elbow, and see whether that also is easier. Now I'll come. Now, would you please do the following thing? With your right hand, get hold of the knee as you did before. That's right, in front of the knee. Both knees, the other knee bent. Turn your face to look to the right. And now, without changing your head, put your left hand behind the right ear, so that the right ear is in the left hand. The right ear, not the right ear. That's right. Means the head lies. Look to your right and lift the left hand and put the head into the left hand lying on the left palm. And now lift the head and direct your knee towards your left ear and the left ear towards the knee. That's right. Many times, don't force, doesn't matter. Just do it several times. Do it once with the elbow, left elbow towards the left knee, the right knee. That's it. And see how much easier it is like that. And then the left ear, once with the elbow, once with the ear. Once with the elbow, once with the ear. But without hurry, slowly. Observe now, when you do it with the elbow and with the ear, what's the difference on the floor? How differently do you press the floor? And now very slowly change over the hands only. The hands only. That means, and the face to the left, of course. Face to the left, and the hands only. Means you still hold the right knee, but with the left hand, face is turned to the left, and the right hand behind. And now, do the same thing with the right elbow and the right ear. Move the right ear to the knee. That's right. And then the right elbow to the knee and the knee to the elbow. Right? Several times. And now interlace your fingers behind the head and try to see, move the right knee towards the right elbow and see how easy or how difficult it is. And the left elbow. And only see how different that is from before. Right? Now get hold of the knee with the same hands as they are. Get hold of the right knee. And now see whether you can direct the chin to the knee. Chin. And whether it gets nearer or worse. Look. It touched now. And the mouth. And the nose. And the forehead. And the right ear. The right ear. And the left ear. And now stretch out and see whether you can tell a difference between the right leg and the left. Which leg is longer? Don't say try first. Lift a little bit the left, just enough. Lift the heel an inch off the floor, the left heel. And stop it. Now lift the right and see the difference. Only an inch, not more, same thing, both sides. Now you remember when we started, lift the head now off the floor and see what it feels like. And how it lifts. And to what height. And do it now as we did before, with both hands behind the head and both knees bent and lifted off the floor. Lift both feet off the floor and see, lift the feet off the floor while you do it and see how high you can lift your head. And see whether you can touch with both elbows, both knees. Now, the other side we didn't work and we didn't do, yet it's not worse than the first. And that's curious. Without doing the exercise, it improves. Now, touch with the right elbow the left knee and see what happens. With some it will be on the other side they can't, and this they can. No, one knee, why both lift? Surely you make it only more difficult. Lift both knees, but touch with one. That's right. And then to the other, left elbow to the right knee. And which side is easier, the side which you worked on or the side that you didn't? It's not true. It's not the same. Now, would you please stand up, walk around. Walk around. And while walking, pay attention to your right side of the face, to your right and left side of the face, and then to your legs and see what it feels like on the left leg and the right leg. And look at each other's face and see whether you can feel one eye, one side of the face of anybody you look at, one side longer and one eye more open than the other, and find out which it is. Now observe, what do you feel in standing? Do you stand straighter than usual? less straight, more bent? Does it feel lighter than when you came in? And watch and feel the difference of moving and the difference, the way every foot stands on the floor. Now, you may not feel the difference because you're not used to feeling difference. So try to turn around yourself. Try to turn around yourself to the left. Turn to the left. Round yourself. Walk and turn like that round yourself to the left. Observe how it is. Now turn around yourself to the right and see the difference. One side is easier than the other. Now, if you go very fast and very strong, you won't feel differences. You know why? Because if I carry a bull on my back, it doesn't matter whether the bull has been peeing or not. I can't feel that difference. I can feel only if he has another bull, then I can feel, oh, 2 bulls is too heavy for me. But if in order to feel a difference, I can feel a difference when I hold a feather. I can feel a difference of a very small weight added on. But when I do something very fast, very powerfully, I can't feel differences. Nobody can. Right? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very good.